Well, hello, handsome.
Good morning, Will.
Oh, I was talking about the bike.
It is a handsome cycle.
Good morning, Jerrod.
Good morning.
Tell us, what is Rose Loon?
Oh, Rose Loon is a collective of Midwest makers from the Great Plains to the Great Lakes. Right now we have about 60 makers in here from 5 states.
What makes a maker?
We are all makers. Humans can do two things that animals cannot do. They can use tools and they can tell stories. And makers marry those two with their creativity and their passion, and they bring it to market. President Obama used to say that today's DIY is tomorrow's Made in America, and this store is proof of that.
Tell us, what do you do here and in the world?
I am the creative director of Rose Loon, which means I get to choose the makers that are in the collective. I work with Will to fill the shelves with product and to tell their stories. I'm also the aesthetic editor of Minnesota Monthly, and I am the maker whisperer.
What's your favorite thing about your job?
I love when I can go into the maker spaces, into their homes, into their studios, to see where they create and to hear their story right from them and then share it with our shoppers.
How do you find the makers?
Oh, I find makers far and wide. For this collective, we went to 7 states. We drove thousands of miles, and it's really about finding the makers that we want to celebrate, not just the ones that you've heard of, but the ones that are still doing it on their dining room table and that are just ready to come to markets.
Best way to choose a gift?
The best way to choose a gift. You should decide on the story that you want to tell. If it's a gift for your BFF, it's something like, you're the funniest person I know. If it's for your husband or wife, it's about saying you're the love of my life. If it's a coworker, it's as simple as saying, I really appreciate all the hard work that you do. Oh, and when you see it, buy it. There are not 40 of these hand-blown spotted blue pumpkins sitting in the back room somewhere, so buy it when you see it.
What if they're difficult to shop for?
Well, if they're too difficult to shop for, they probably shouldn't be your friends at all. They probably re-gift, so you can always just buy something for yourself. I think that you can snoop around on their social media and see if there's anything you don't know about them. And worst case scenario, just ask someone that knows them better than you.
Hi.
Good morning.
Cat or dog?
Always a dog. Let's get him ready for the season. Here you go, Joe. Ah, handsome. Thank you.
Best advice for a marathon shopping trip?
Best advice for a marathon shopping trip is all about starting your day off with some nourishment. You should be fueled for the day ahead. You should make lists, lots and lots of lists. Prioritize what you need to get done. You should have a budget, not just a budget for the day, but a budget for the whole season so you don't go wild and overboard and all that. And find some time to do something for yourself. Buy a little something for yourself, have that extra glass of wine, mani-pedi massage, quick trip around a museum. You're spending the day doing for others, so do something for yourself.
Should I take a host gift?
Oh, you should always take a host gift. If you're a flower person, you should deliver them in the morning to the house. You should never walk through the door with flowers. It just kind of stops the flow of the party and you have to deal with them. So send them the day ahead or the morning of. And I also think that you should always take a gift. If you know the space that they entertain in and the aesthetic of the room, you can do coasters. Coasters are practical and they're pretty and they're handmade, or a candle. I think candles are always a safe bet. And when they smell like the season, it's even better.
Best tip for home entertaining?
Oh, best tip for home entertaining. You should have a playlist. I think we go through life with a soundtrack in our mind, and when we can hit play and share it with others, it lets them in on the story of you and then the stories that you want to tell. And you should take pictures, lots and lots of pictures, and you should get them off of your phone. You should print them out, and you should send them to the people that were there so you can all reflect and remember on the celebration.
Fill in the blank. Never forget blank at a party.
Never forget to be a gracious guest. You should always ask if you can help clean up or help serve, and they're usually going to say no, but if they say yes, roll your sleeves up and get down to work. You should always say thank you. You should send a text or an email that night when you get home, and always send a handwritten note.
How do you bring local into your home?
Oh, there are a million ways. We have so much local and handmade in our home, but one thing that I like to do is change it out with the seasons so that you can showcase some of your favorite pieces that sometimes just have to be put away. And you know, we're in the winter now, so it's about heavier blankets and hygge and staying warm. And change your artwork. I think that's another way to just kind of bring in different looks and feels of the year to you.
How do you decorate for the season?
Well, I do greenery. Greenery, there's so much texture with greenery and things that you can do. You can do chair backs and boughs and garlands and wreaths and even just simple stems in jars or vases really kind of set it apart, and it smells really good. And if you're allergic to greenery, there's plenty of artificial greenery that gets the job done.
Do you prefer a big bash or an intimate gathering?
I like them both. I throw a lot of big bashes for my clients. But when I have a night off and just want to hang out, I think it's about being intimate with the people you want to be with. I think a good tip is to always arrive, don't just show up, but arrive and be there and be present and keep your head up and not down looking at your phone, and an open heart and open ears, and you should have a good time.
What's your favorite thing about the season?
Well, I love the season. I love Christmas lights. I love the smells of the season. I love the flavors of the season. I love sweets, and this is the best time always to have sweets. Just kind of change things up. You know, we get to warmer drinks and things that warm our heart, and it's chili season, so a good tip is to do a Bloody Mary chili. You just sub your spices and tomatoes with Bloody Mary mix, and you've got a new holiday tradition right there.
What's the big deal about local?
Oh, the big deal about local is that you are sharing someone's story, that you are celebrating their passion and their work, and you're keeping money in the community.
Finish the sentence. Buying from a small brand.
Buying from a small brand is an experience. It's about hearing their story and sharing their story, and that's what's so great about a store like this. You pick up an item and we can tell you where it was made and who made it and why they made it. And when you can share that with the person that you gift with or have it with yourself and the things that you carry, that's about buying local, and that's about handmade. And local doesn't need to be in the shape where you live or where it's going to. It's just about being handmade and having that story.
Hey, Jerrod.
Yes.
This or that?
I say both. That for before work, that for after work.
Perfect.
In the winter, you should always.
In the winter, you should always moisturize. We live in Minnesota, so there's no reason to have chapped lips. You should always carry a chapstick with you. You should always light a candle for a little warmth. And wear a hat. My grandmother always said wear a hat because you lose so much heat out the top of your head.
Do you have any gift wrap tips?
Yes, I have gift wrap tips. We always use a signature gift wrap so that people know it's from us. I always do an embellishment on the outside, kind of a gift before the gift. So tie a wooden spoon on, tie an ornament on, and that's always a great way to do it. And stockings. I love a good stocking.
What's your favorite holiday tradition?
There are so many traditions. I think that it's about honoring the people that are no longer with you and welcoming new friends into your life to have new celebrations and traditions. We love living in Minnesota, but we are Kansas City born and bred. So when we get home, it's about plaza lights and homemade biscuits and gravy on Christmas morning, and really being with the people that you love and the ones that love you back.
Any final words?
Thank you, Will. Final words. Shop Rose Loon, buy handmade, buy local, stay warm, and enjoy the holidays.